Hey everybody, DeathsStalker here. Well, I'm back after a slight break of 4 months. Now, if you watched one of my videos, I think it was in December, I warned you I was going to run out of videos. And simply because with the COVID thing, I wasn't able to ride, plus the weather and whatnot. And I was in the process of doing some maintenance videos on my bike and some upgrades. So I figured I had another month of videos, but unfortunately, anybody who's been working on motorcycles or vehicles, especially in Canada, parts are just brutal to get. I was planning on replacing all the radiator hoses with new hoses, and also doing the upgrade for the fans, for the SPAL fans. But to do it, I had to get into take the gas tank off and remove a few things to get at stuff from above. And the one thing I realized when I started looking at it is there's a few parts up on top. Just to be on the safe side, I needed to have a few pieces. And believe it or not, there were some washers, seals that you use to attach the gas tank to the fuel system, and I couldn't get those seals. I tried all over the place. Eventually I found somebody who had them and they shipped them to me, but between Canada Post or US Postal Service, Canada Postal Service, it was almost 7 weeks before they actually showed up. And at that point, spring was sort of coming along, so I was sort of humming and hawing whether or not I was actually going to do it, because I wasn't certain if I was going to find something else. And the end result was I finally decided, you know what, I'm just going to stop and put the bike back together again and just start riding it, and then I'll do this job in November, where if I have to wait for a month or so for parts, it's not a big deal. Now I know a lot of Americans are probably thinking, well, it wasn't that bad because, you know, they have a place like Partzilla, but I actually normally use Partzilla, but they don't ship to Canada right now due to the pandemic thing. So to give you an idea, I've actually, when I was doing the rear caliper upgrade on my bike, I actually ordered a master cylinder rebuild kit for my for my bike from a supplier in Norway, because it was really weird. If I could order the part from Europe, I could get it usually in about 10 to 14 days. As soon as I tried to order something from the United States, it was taking like almost 2 months. So getting parts was brutal. It didn't also help too that I think it was come in the middle of February, something like that, we had a lockdown, which is supposed to be a month, and like this video is just after July 1st, and the lockdown is not completely lifted yet. So you can get an idea. Like, not going to get into it other than the fact that I know pretty much every country in the world has got problems with their leadership. I don't think there's anything special, but I swear some of the leaders in Canada went and just said, here, hold my beer and watch this. It's like, yeah. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to put my bike back together, and I got a call to get my dental implant installed, which is, I had a tooth break in December, and it was very good. The specialist had an opening, so I went in there to get this titanium implant, not a problem. However, the drug they gave me to fight any infection didn't agree with me. So I actually ended up being sick for a couple of days very badly, and I was feeling the side effects for the better part of a month. And so that sort of like wasted a month of my life. And then spring actually came early, and I was like, all right, I get to ride my bike. Except it was raining most of the time. And then the few times it wasn't, it was like my wife wanted to do some gardening, so her and her sister proceeded to work in the garden. I had to give the lawnmower and a grass trimmer a little tune up, and turns out they all had some parts fail too, and parts from those equipment suppliers are almost as bad as motorcycle. I ended up waiting about 3 or 4 weeks for that sort of stuff, so that was quite the year. And if you remember last year, we dropped a tree in our backyard because it had died, and I knew it hit our sprinkler system, so I knew I had to do one fix. What I did not expect was having my wife and her sister using a pitchfork in the garden and managed to spear my sprinkler system and sprinkler system parts. Almost 5 weeks just to get the fittings to repair the holes in the pipes. No idea why that's happening, but so now I'm back to putting the bike back together, and you know, we had a heat wave in the middle of June, which we normally get, and I'm working on this bike on the Sunday, and we're supposed to have 110 degree Fahrenheit weather, which is about 42 or 43 Celsius tomorrow. So we'll see how long it is before I actually get the chance to ride this. So it's been a very interesting off season, to say the least. I noticed a bunch of motorcycle vloggers have had the same problem. I'm not exactly certain what's going to happen this year because, you know, everything's still kind of goofy. But the you know, hopefully we'll get a little bit of motorcycle riding. I know the Friday the 13th event for this year, which is taking place in August, has been canceled even long before it's supposed to happen. You know, whether or not we're going to get a lot of riding, it's hard to say. But I'm going to try to get as much riding as I can when the weather's permitting. But expect this year I'm probably going to have a lot less videos out, simply because I got to catch up to where I was, and depending on the weather and whatnot. So this is going to be kind of a goofy year. Probably see in a couple weeks I'll be back on the bike again and starting to produce videos, weather permitting, of course. Anyways, it's time for me to put these fairings on, so at least the bike looks almost ready to go. DeathsStalker signing off.